Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another of our webinars in the Kickstart Retail series. And welcome to the first one that we've actually had in spring 2021. Although I have to say, sitting here in Dublin this afternoon, it certainly doesn't feel very spring-like. I am reliably informed that last Monday, I think it was, which was the 2nd of February, it was in fact Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day, in fact, the groundhog did appear, which means we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. So on that note, we'd better move on quickly. I know there is lots of doom, gloom and depression out there at the minute, and that's certainly not helped by listening to the Taoiseach this morning on Morning Island, who talked about the fact that there's likely to be a continuation of these high-level restrictions into Easter, unfortunately. But look, that's the way things are. So look, let's try and lift the doom and gloom a little bit for the next few minutes, for about the next 45 minutes or so. And I want to introduce you to our 3 speakers who are going to talk through around the area of creating video content for retail. First up, I'm going to talk to Conor Corcoran and Tom Aspel. So Conor is the Managing Director of Social Media Elite, and Tom Aspel works with Social Media Elite's sister company, Viral Media. I'll come to those guys in a moment. I'm then going to move on once they're going to give a short presentation for about the next 15 minutes. I'm then going to turn to Niamh Phelan, who's the Content Marketing Officer with McElhenney's up there in Donegal. So Niamh and I are going to have a bit of a conversation after Conor has spoken. And then finally, I'm going to talk to Paddy Coughlin, who's Managing Director of Designer Exchange. And then if we've got a little bit of time at the end, I'm going to bring Conor and Tom back in and we'll have a general chat around this whole area for the last few minutes. So if you've got, as usual, guys, if you've got any questions that you want to ask, we'll pick them up at the end. So feel free to drop them into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen or into the chat box. Anyway, welcome, Conor, Tom. I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can take it from there for the next 15 minutes. Welcome, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you, Duncan. We'll just put our slides up there now.
Thanks, Emil.
Okay. So, guys, it's myself and Tom here. Just give you a bit of background. I spoke on a few presentations here before from a social media lead point of view, and really that's probably from where we do paid social ads. We've 2 sister companies. We've Icon Management, which is also an influencer marketing company. And then we have Viral Media, which Tom is the managing director of, and it's our sister company. And today we're kind of more focused probably from the Viral Media side of our business. We're going to focus in on creating and succeeding with video online. So let me just skip on now. So as I said, there are 3 sister companies, and there's kind of a cross between all our companies in the work that we do. Go on, Tom. Okay, so just a little bit about us. We're based in the centre of Ireland in Mullingar. We specialise from a Viral Media point of view in websites, video and graphics. So we do a lot of video shoots, we do a lot of photo shoots, and we do a lot of graphic design. I suppose what we like to do is, Tom, you'd probably describe it as we kind of manage the whole campaign for our clients from the videos and the shoots. And maybe today what we're going to do is look at a real scaled down version of that. Is if you were to go there today or tomorrow, just with your phone, how can you create something that is suitable for online, and how can it succeed for you and your business? So yes, we do the larger stuff, but we are going to scale it right back down for you today.
Yeah. Just to expand on that, the last 3 points there in the video. So that's kind of just, as Conor was saying there, from a shoot perspective. So we'd manage the whole experience. We'd meet with the client. We look at scripts, what you want to get out of the day, and we plan the whole shoot. So yeah, but let's get into the smaller end of things.
Yeah. So I suppose a little bit that we want to talk about here today is video on a budget. So we want to start with the absolute basics. If you just have your phone, how are you going to get quality video? And I suppose Tom's going to give you a couple of tips on where to even start with that. One of the big things I even say with video is people are a little bit kind of, oh God, I don't know about talking on camera and everything like that. And I think you have to maybe, it's not get over it as such, but the only way to get comfortable with it is actually putting yourself out there whether it's yourself, whether it's staff, whether it's even just a video of your products or services that you offer. Like maybe it's showing off some of your retail store, showing the products off in that, and maybe it's less of you, but video is really, really important. And we'll show you why throughout this. So I think have an open mind towards video and don't be so scared of it. And let's kind of maybe, Tom, give a few tips then on how you can get started.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is, we need to get the simple things right. So there's three kind of areas. So one thing is going to be your lighting. The second there is your audio. And the third is kind of your script. So even just to touch on the first one there. So we're looking for natural lighting. If you don't have natural lighting, a ring light will work. So once you're well lit, you're facing the window, so the sun isn't coming in the other way. So make sure that you're well lit up. The second one then is to get a mic. So a lavalier mic is actually quite popular. It just clips onto the top of your top or whatever. It provides a really good audio then for any videos, and it just plugs into your phone. So it's very simple to use. The third one then is to drop the script. So we kind of recommend just to be very casual, very clear, and very concise about what you want to get across. So there's no point writing out a script. We feel that just doesn't help people at all. So drop the script and just have a few key points that you want to get across.
Yeah, I might even just add to that there, Tom, that the script is actually a very important thing, because when someone hasn't done video before and they're quite nervous about it, they get too scripted and they try to write out every single word that they want to say on the video, and it just doesn't work. So we actually always say, actually just drop the script. Imagine a customer has just walked into your store and they're about to ask you a question about a particular product or something that you offer, and you would just easily talk to them and sell them that product. That's exactly what you want to do. You show the value, show exactly what the product is about through the video. Once you get scripted, you lose that point of view. And some of them basic tips there that Thomas said, like a mic and lighting, you can't overemphasize how important that is at the most basic video level. The difference in we've seen someone where they do a basic video and they're standing with the back to the window, and it's unbelievable how blurry, how kind of faded the light looks, everything on it, compared to just swapping and standing the other way around. It just changes the whole look. It's like a different camera. So they're just some very basic tips. I think then even on some editing tips, you have some good ideas here, especially with the subtitles, Tom.
Yeah, so just a few editing tips then when you're editing on the likes of Imovie. So Imovie is really easy. It's an app on your iPhone, iPad. You can get it online as well. So we recommend using Imovie. It's very easy just to trim video clips, add subtitles, add a logo, and maybe add some music as well, which does a lot for a video. Just to even touch on the first one there, 80% is watched on mute on social media. So 80% of videos now watched, like in the likes of Facebook, Instagram, is watched on mute. So that just shows how important subtitles are. Just to give an idea of, the start of your video so people can get into it, and maybe unmute the video then and watch the full thing. Then as we move down to the second one, keep it clear. So increase the volume if needed in the editing. Sometimes, on different devices, it might come out differently when it's rendered. So maybe increase the volume if you needed, like someone speaking or whatever, and then maybe if you need to balance out the music and the speaking. Add music then rather than dead silence. If you're going to have someone maybe just showcasing the product, maybe add some music. It kind of entices people maybe to watch a bit more. Then keep the message to the point. So it's kind of linked to drop the script above. So have a clear message that you want to give throughout the video. So if that's 2 or 3 points, maybe it could just be one, but maybe introduce them in the start of the video and then go into them. So people are coming out of the video with something that they have gained from it. And then that last one there is just iMovie. So you can see there on the right hand side, it's very easy and very simple just to be able to edit a video on iMovie.
Yeah, and iMovie is perfect for the person who's never ever edited a video. From just shortening the video to cutting it off to adding a logo to adding the subtitles, absolutely anyone can do. And if you actually go on to the next slide, Tom, on this in particular here, these are just 3 samples we have of clients who filmed this themselves in their stores. And it's very much like filmed on a phone. And the only difference, what makes it look more professional is their lighting is good. The sound is good. It has music. It has, it's short, it's to the point. this, I would even say the subtitles and the logo. It just makes it feel more professional. So maybe even want to show one or two, couple of seconds of each one, Tom.
Yeah. So here's the
Hi
first
everyone, Rosemary here from Tempted. The weather has definitely got that little bit chillier. And if you're like me, you're not quite ready for a coat yet either.
So that's one with subtitles. It's more of a product showcase. This next one is a similar one, just without. So it has a bit more music. And then our third one is showcase.
As well as showcasing all the leading suit brands in our suit department on the first floor, we also have a dedicated wedding room where we showcase all the latest wedding trends, dedicated wedding specialists to help you through. We can work by appointment only or a free consultation service, which allows you to come in, take a little bit of time and go through all the ins and outs of getting married.
I think what's very good with these videos is if you've seen 3 variations there, and if you look in one of the 3 videos, the client is talking in particular, and in the other 2 nobody is talking, as actually face to camera. So that is something there that you could look at for yourself. How is that suitable that we can even start with that and then go to the next point of maybe talking on camera?
Yeah, that Galvin's one is a really good example there. You have a voiceover, you have subtitles in there, you have sped up sections, and then you have music as well. So you're kind of getting everything there. I think that, you know, that was edited within an hour, so all very easy.
Hi everyone.
Just move on here.
Okay. So I think just in terms of kind of getting to the next level with video, and instead of just doing video as a once off, you need to be able to succeed in the long term with it, and you need to be very consistent with it. It's not something that, oh, we do one video, that's it, now we don't need to do a video again for ages. When you start getting into video, you should be doing it very regular. And I think there's several points there, Tom, you can even highlight to that.
Yeah, I think the first point, probably most the very, you know, important point, is that you need to make it consistent, and to do that needs to be realistic. So if that's a case of dedicating an hour or 2 a week, filming in bulk and doing maybe 3 or 4 15, you know, to 20-second videos or a minute videos, and film in bulk, and then you can maybe dedicate another hour later in the week, edit your videos, and then you know, 2 hours a week would be plenty. So there's no point saying maybe you'd do it once a day or anything like that. So every second or third day would be plenty. Then as we move on, use different platforms. We even took Instagram there for an example, and using the features within them. So even in Instagram, it's huge. There's so many features you can use. You have Instagram TV, you have the feed to use, so just post into your regular Instagram feed. You have your Instagram live stories, and then you have your Instagram stories. So even just as we run through, you have your Instagram TV. This could be where you have a discussion with another professional in the industry, a very valuable talk that you can add a lot of value to your listeners, and then that will get posted to your feed as well. Then on your Instagram feed in specific, this could be very short. It could be under a minute usually. It's showing a product, demo using it, and it's just really just showing off your expertise. Then the third one there is Instagram live stories. That typically is used for Q&As, and then even just showing the personality behind the brand. So if that's the day-to-day workings of the brand, maybe a bit behind the scenes, and yeah, showing people behind it. Then the stories aspect of it would be, as I said there, a lot of day-to-day short value tips, and then showing customer experiences, like if they get a product and they're sharing it to your story, you can kind of give that whole experience then. Then as you move on, I think the big thing is showing your expertise. So you're the expert in your industry, and you want to show that on your stories and in your feed. So show off your products, maybe show how you use them, and give tips of how to use them in certain aspects. So you know the most about your products, and people are there to learn. So use your products, showcase your expertise, and showcase your skills as well. And then the last one I think is pretty important around now, especially when there's no customers in store or anything. So create a relationship. Get on there. You know, it doesn't have to be too glamorous even on your Instagram stories. Get on there, get talking to people, this is the closest thing you have to your customer interaction at the minute. So make the most of it.
Yeah, I think, and that's exactly it. And kind of leads into some of the next points, Tom, is that it really is probably when you put video out there online, it's a chance to grow your market. But what we've seen a lot of our clients start to do is they're using it to virtually sell. So they might have a site, but maybe you're not sure, let's say, if it's fashion, exactly how does that fit? You want someone nearly to walk around the shop. And I know some of our clients are putting sales assistants where suitable in for an hour or two, and they kind of go through different things and do like online consultations, and then people go onto the site and they buy afterwards. And that seems to be proven very successful. And they kind of go up another level in video is even something like a gimbal. It's not needed, but it is one level up in terms of it holds very steady no matter as you walk around the shop moving it. And I've seen the virtual selling work very well in fashion and accessories, and I think even in interiors. We've had clients who someone is looking on a site, they're looking at maybe, let's say it's a lamp they're looking at buying. They're not sure exactly where the color kind of is on it. So they book one of these virtual selling slots, sales assistant be able to show them, describe the color more, you get a more realistic feel of the size of the product and stuff like that. And then they can go and purchase it online. So obviously it increases that conversion rate and gives confidence to the customer. And it lets them see a little bit of detail that maybe you just can't get online. That it's probably them products in particular that people haven't been comfortable prior to COVID buying online, that if they had a choice to go in store. So this is your opportunity to try bring that store experience online a little more. I suppose then the value of video online, I think this is so important. And I think it's not just why you're doing this, not just to showcase it. So if we look at the bottom screenshot on this, for example, and we talk about video that's used for engagement, this will be a paid social ad that will be set up with a product of a client, and it would basically target it to their exact audience and see who we can get interested in it. And what would the metric we would be looking to measure is a cost per result. And that cost per result is a true play. A true play is basically someone has watched the video for more than 15 seconds. If someone stops on social media and engages in a video for more than 15 seconds, they're very relevant. The product is very relevant to them and they're very interested in the product. So it's a huge way to build awareness, and a very cheap way. This came in at 1 cent. An average might be like 5 cents in the industry. So you can see there, you were getting 15,000, 16,000 people on one particular video to watch it for just over €100. Like, it's absolutely incredible. And they're very targeted people. The one above that is actually using video to optimize for purchase. So again, a really low cost per purchase and a massive return on ad spend. And that's simply because it was very relevant to the audience, and the video obviously allowed the customer to engage in it in a lot more.
I think it's important to say there that it's great doing video, but I suppose there's an end result there that you're aiming to do is, increase conversion or increase engagement. So as great it is doing video, that I suppose that's the ultimate goal.
I think on this here now is probably a little step up from your standard video editing that you're doing yourself. And often we see with clients, they start with just maybe trying to do some videos themselves, but then they say, actually, this is really working for us. This is really working for our marketing. This is working, but we need to get more, and we need to get that. We need to get more, we need to get the quality up to another level. And this is where you get your real video shoots. And the difference is that we work with clients maybe on like a half day, 4 hours or 6 hours, and you probably get enough content in that day for like 3 months. You really get loads out of the day. We know how much to get out of the day for you and the type of videos. And you can probably see you get different camera angles and stuff like that. If you want to give 1 or 2 examples there, Tom.
Yeah.
So it allows you to tell a story maybe a little bit more.
So you can see that was a pretty small business that just needed a really high quality promo video to launch their new mobile bar. As we move on.
Our eyes have catched the blue light emanating from our screens. And the moment we wake up to the second we fall asleep. That's why Henshaw eyewear glasses are uniquely tailored for this new shared reality. Designed by the experts, engineered for the most productive self. Henshaw Eyewear will filter.
That works really well there with the voiceover as well. And then this is our final one. So you can see there, that's your really high end, your high quality work that we can do. We plan the whole brief, we plan the whole day. We plan, you know, even with the client, what shots they want to get, what's their main focus, what they want to get out of it, and actually where they want to use the video. So is it on Instagram, Facebook, their website? So yeah, that's the higher end of things.
So I suppose that kind of brings us to the end. It's very much kind of a really kind of get starter in video and kind of finishes where you can bring your brand to. We can answer questions at the end. I think, Duncan, you might want to ask a question there now before we move on.
Yeah, I will do. There's just one quick question, Connor, before I move on, but I know has come up. You mentioned there Imovie, which is presumably an Apple product. Is there a corresponding Android product that could be used for recording movies and videos and stuff?
Yes, I would need to double check. While this is on, I'll double check. Tom, do you know it off the top of your head?
I'd imagine there's cross-platform ones you can use, like InShot is one.
Okay, maybe we just come back to that towards the end, but it sounds like there is plenty of opportunity. Thank you, guys. So that's viralmediaonline.com and socialmediaelite.ie. I'm sure you guys are more than happy to take some questions and some calls maybe after this from anybody that's interested in following this up. Yeah, that'd be all right.
Absolutely, yeah, of course, no problem at all.
Thanks.
Super. All right, thanks, guys. Maybe you'll hang on and come back in towards the end, and we might have a few more questions that we can throw your way. I'm going to move now to Neve. Neve, are you sitting there comfortably?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Duncan.
Great stuff. Super. Okay. Neve, look, I know that Little Bird told me that you're the brains behind the great McElhenney's social media content. So just give us a bit of a background. What's your role in McElhenney's at the moment? What do you do and how long have you been there?
So I am the social media and content marketing officer for McElhenney's. So in a nutshell, I create and publish content on the McElhenney's social media channels. I've worked in McElhenney's for just over 3 years now, and I work really closely with all of the creative team in store. So as much as I'd like to claim that I am the brains behind everything, there is a team there. So I work really closely with my marketing manager, Ruth, our videographer and photographer, Clive. He would be involved in the campaign shoots and everything like that as well. And I also work really closely with the managers, buyers, stylists and models. So there's a lot of people involved in the process, but yeah, we all work really closely together. And the team is really big into like blue sky thinking. So no idea is too out there for us. One of our values in McElhenney's is taking ownership and making things happen. So that is something that we try to do as much as we can. And that has seen McElhenney's through the last 50 years of business. So 2021 actually marks the 50th anniversary of McElhenney's. So that value stood the test of time. So
fantastic.
That is,
yeah. Sounds good. And just in terms of moving to, the social media piece, then, so how long ago did you start putting video content online and going down that route?
Yeah, so my degree was actually, I started in a media studies degree and then I transferred into business and management. So it was something I was always really interested in. But it was something that once I started in McElhenney's, it was something that we implemented right away. We always included video in our content strategy. So it's always been something that I've done, but definitely in the last year, we've really focused on video because it's really been working well for us.
Great. And, there's presumably quite a number of people that have come onto this webinar today who are thinking about starting up and maybe have dabbled in it a bit, but, thinking about expanding it and so on. So what would your top tips be for members that are starting out now, just in terms of recording videos to promote their products? Particularly, you know, we're all sitting here with the shops closed and it's all a bit depressing and so forth. But, you know, what would be the top tip that you'd give somebody at this moment in time?
Well, I would say there's just a few things you'd probably need to consider before starting, but if you are thinking of starting, I would definitely recommend it because we've seen really good results with video. So just to begin, I would definitely think of your audience. You need to know who they are, where, like what platform they're on, what time they're online. That will really affect a lot of pieces of your marketing strategy and your video strategy. You need to know your audience quite well and cater to them. The next thing I would think of is your message. So what is it that you want to say to them? You know, there is definitely a wealth of knowledge in every business, and video is a really good opportunity to share that expertise. I would say that a good place to start is with your frequently asked questions, because that is something obviously that people are looking to hear. So it's a really good place to start with your videos to answer those questions that come up all the time. And I would also say for your message, you know, take a look at people that you follow and see if there's any way you can take inspiration from those people. You know, look at why you follow them, and is there a way that you can, I wouldn't say replicate the content, but take inspiration and apply it to your own business. The next thing that you would probably need to consider is the medium. So I know Tom and Connor touched on this as well. So what platform you're going to use, and even within each platform, the guys spoke about Instagram and how there's so many different variations of video within that. So for talk's sake, I'll look at Instagram as well, because the guys use that as an example. You have, you know, your Instagram lives on your stories. You have Instagram story, which would be a portrait video, and it would be 15-second segments. You have IGTV, which is, again, you can share any orientation of video, portrait or landscape or square, but it has to be over 1 minute. You have your Instagram wall, which is square sized or landscape video, but it has to be under 1 minute. And then you have Reels, which is the new Instagram short form video, and they are between 15 to 30 seconds. So, you know, within Instagram, you have a lot to consider. You have the timing, you have the orientation of the video, and you have, you know, where are you going to get the best results from your video. The next thing to consider is the time of day that you post. You'll find your insights on Instagram and Facebook for those. So it's quite easy to find that information. It's in your creator studio on Facebook and the insights on Instagram. And then finally, when you're starting out, you definitely have to make time to report and analyze what you have posted. So decide what metrics are important to you. For us, we would look at reach and engagements, views, and link clicks. So those would be our 4. And by using the same metrics for each report, you're able to compare easier. So then you'll know what is actually working. So that's probably the things that you would need to consider before you start.
And you talk there in terms of the timing and the time of the day, for example, that you're best putting things up. What do you find is the best time of the day to post video media coverage?
Well, that has actually changed a little bit for us recently. We find that people are kind of on social media all day now because of lockdown. But generally speaking, I would say definitely the evening time. That's when people are, you know, they have their dinner made and the kids are in bed and they have time to scroll. So I would definitely say between probably 7 and 10 p.m. at night is the best time to post that for the best results.
Yeah, and we all sit there now, don't we, with our phones while we're watching Netflix.
Yeah.
It seems to be the thing we do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I think, guys, have we got a little bit of a clip? I think it was something on your Instagram page that we were going to throw up. Is that available, guys? Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we can we'll just come back and keep talking. Just while I pull that up, Niamh, just in terms of the equipment that you could be using. I mean, we know we've talked there. Here we go. Let's just watch this. So tell us a little bit about that. I know it's just a short clip there, Niamh, on Instagram, but what's the background to that? What did you do? How did you do it? How did you film it?
Well, we just would set for a video like that. We wanted to just show a few outfits that would, maybe inspire people to get a little bit more dressed up for lockdown. So we set up our model with a tripod and a ring light. So again, back to the equipment, I mean, I'm kind of answering the question you were going to ask anyway. So a tripod and a ring light, you definitely need both of those. I think definitely for fashion and accessories, lighting is extremely important to be able to see the detail on clothes. And to get that kind of smooth transition, a tripod is really important as well, so that your subject stays in the same place in the video. So we wouldn't always use a tripod, not for all of our day-to-day videos, but it's a very good place to start, especially if you're recording by yourself. In terms of other equipment that you can use, that we would use, we have a Bluetooth clicker that is that can link to your camera on your phone, and all you have to do is press a button for it to start recording. So anyone that might be by themselves when they are filming videos, it means that you don't have to start the video and move back and then start speaking or anything like that. You can set it to record from far away. And another thing that we would use quite regularly is our lapel microphones. I know the guys touched on that as well. I just think the sound quality it's undeniably better since we started using those. We only started using them maybe just, I think, at the end of the first lockdown. We actually had rented a microphone for an Instagram live that we were doing. And after that, we just realized that it's something that we were missing out on, and it was very useful. So you definitely can record without any equipment, but those few pieces would definitely help with anyone that's...
And what sort of cost did, when you came to the investment in this? I know we talked there earlier around all you really need to begin with is the phone, but, in terms of the additional cost that you've added in, would that be considerable, or would it be, pretty much within budget?
No, I mean, tripods are very easy to come by. Same with ring lights. You can get actually ring lights with a tripod built into them, so you can just purchase one thing. And the microphones, I honestly can't remember how much they cost, but the return on them is much greater than the cost, but they weren't too expensive, no.
Yeah, just to get the quality of the sound, as you say. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Just one final question. I know you're going to hang on, and we'll maybe pick some other bits up at the end, but in terms of topics people might struggle with creativity, what's your advice in terms of keeping it simple and things like that? What would your advice be to people?
Well, I would say that if you have any ideas for videos, just try it. If it takes 100 takes, if you have to do it 100 times, just give it a try. Like, again, I know I keep going back to Connor and Tom, they've already said it, but the only way to get used to doing videos is to just try them. But if you're struggling with creativity, I definitely think a good place to start is just brainstorm with your friends, your family members, your co-workers. Ask them what is it that they'd like to see, what do they enjoy seeing. Look again at who you follow. Why is it that you follow them? What is it that they do that you like, and is that something that you can replicate? Another kind of simple way of creating a strategy is to have your kind of key dates identified in your marketing calendar. So is there any content that you can create that's relating to Pancake Tuesdays coming up, St. Patrick's Day, Easter? Is there anything that you can do for those? And you also have different holiday days. Like, I have examples here, like the 22nd of April is Earth Day, the 5th of March is World Book Day. There's hundreds of days like that you can identify that's relevant to your business. I would also say definitely take a look at the explore pages on Instagram, look at your trending hashtags on Twitter, and even take a look at what is trending on TikTok, because they are all really good places to give you ideas, and it mightn't be something that you would think of yourself, so it's a good place to start.
Yeah, brilliant, super. Niamh, I know you're going to hang on with us, aren't you? So yeah, we might pick up a few questions at the end, particularly around this TikTok one, because that's a great one. I know my daughter's always on TikTok, but in terms of how we manage that one and how it links in with this whole, with selling through social media, that'd be an interesting one to pick up with. But I just want to turn to Paddy next. So Paddy Coughlin, are you there?
I am indeed. Thank you for having me, Duncan.
I'm glad it's all working, Paddy. Nice to have you along.
Yeah.
Paddy, you're with you're managing director of Designer Exchange, and just in terms of your advice for people, in terms of stepping out of the comfort zone, how have you found this? Because it's presumably you didn't start by immediately going, I'm going to set up video content with social media. It was something that started reasonably small, was it? So
absolutely. So yeah, so I mean, I'm as the guys have said before, and they've covered a lot of the bases there before me so well. I'm representing the brains of the business. So my title of managing director means I'm only representing these creative geniuses in our small office who create all these things. It really is. I mean, stepping out of your comfort zone is probably the biggest bit of advice I can give you. I get in front of the camera. We are actually preparing this evening for we have our weekly new arrivals Instagram live that we push out at 8 o'clock, and we create a little bit of hype around our product, and that's all done as live content. So for anybody, whether you're a professional working in RTE or actor or so on, doing anything live is a little bit ominous. But once you get into the idea that when we're in bricks and mortar retail and we're welcoming customers into our store, we're putting on that show anyway in such a natural way. So translating that over to communicating to our customers via video just seems pretty seamless. So it really is a case of, we've got some of the guys in the store. We've Leah, who's our trainee manager in the store, who was petrified of getting in front of the camera. Now I can't keep her away from the camera. She absolutely loves to do the Instagram lives. We have one of our young girls in the business as well, Katie, and they're going to be running our live tonight. I can step away from it, and they just love getting involved in it. So they're two fine examples of two individuals stepping out of their comfort zone. You know, the key thing is that no matter if you're selling cupcakes, designer handbags, or laptops, you are the knowledgeable one about your product. You're the one with the passion. You know, don't waste that on just being your own passion. Step in front of the camera and transmit that to your customer.
Yeah, brilliant. And just, I'm kind of interested. So you're going to run your Instagram live tonight. You're going to show new products, yeah?
Yes.
When do you start to see a return on that? I mean, will you see it immediately, or will you see sales going up during the course of this week as a result? And what?
Yeah, so we've got a very bespoke business in the sense that we've got one of every product. So we buy our product from our customer. We buy pre-loved, authentic designer handbags and accessories. So it's very easy for us to create that little bit of hype. So we'll run the Instagram live from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock and beyond. But during that live, we will be showing the products that will be scheduled to go live on our website at 9 o'clock. So it gives everybody fair opportunity to come to our website at 9 o'clock. And just a small bit of statistical information I can give you on our last one that went out is that, you know, once 9 o'clock or once 10 to 9 hit during our Instagram live last week, we noticed that we had approximately 550 active people on our website at that time. Now that was from about an average of 250 people joining our Instagram live. It may sound small to some bigger companies, but there was massively high engagement from that. So the sales pretty much happened immediately from those lives. If you can imagine, I came from GameStop. That's my history is working with GameStop, and we had this the luxury of a Friday morning new video game release. So you could create hype, and everybody knew at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning this new game was released, and that was great because we had that hype. So we have to create our own hype within this business. We don't have a set release day, and we're creating that. And it's creating a really, really good touch base with our customer to be able to, again, as the guys, Tom and Connor and Neve, they were talking about as well, is giving our customer an opportunity to see an item tried on, to see it in proper light, to have a look at the inside, and especially in our industry where we're selling pre-loved products. So pre-loved being new to you, as we say, or is that people are going to want to see if there are any signs of wear to the item, you know, and all the different specifics.
Great stuff. Yeah, I think my wife is a shopper with you. I think she's bought a few items in, and certainly has come back raving about the experience.
Fantastic.
Just a couple of more final questions for you, which I'm interested in. So those people that struggle with being creative in video marketing, yeah, how can they show their products in a different setting and create lifestyle looks over and again, you know, during this long period without boring themselves or boring others? You know, we talk about this Groundhog Day and repetitiveness and all of that. How can we keep it live and fresh?
Yeah, I think it's just simply a case of try things. Neve spoke about it there before me, where she was going, you know, something might take 100 takes to get something right, but try something. Just it goes back to what I was saying there about stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, during when the first lockdown started, we were taking some bags home here to where I live, and we were going down by the river and taking nice shots around the river. It gave us nice space to be creative, to think creative. If one thing that this whole lockdown did was, I think it gave people really good focus time to be able to address from top down and look at it and say, well, how can we do things a little bit differently? So I think people are bashful about being creative. I don't think that there's anybody out there who's not creative. I think just people feel this fear of being creative, that we should just take risks, to take the plunge, you know, and that's certainly what we've done.
Super. And Paddy, before I move on, just give us a bit of a plug again for that site tonight, the new product launch tonight.
Yeah, so on Designer Exchange Limited on our Instagram, it's the designer_exchange_Ltd. We at 8 o'clock tonight, we're starting our Instagram live. The girls inside in the store, we have them properly positioned around the store. We've different teams working at different times, obviously to comply with regulations, but they'll be releasing all of our new products. There's actually, I think, 118 new arrival items. I just left the store and raced home to do this after preparing it all morning. So about 118 new items going out. And it's always, regardless of whether you buy or not, we've got customers feeding back to us that they just really look forward to the Thursdays because it's a nice live show. Some people have even said it's better than watching TV. So there's a great compliment.
And just, I know there's not very many people on this today. So just between us, is there anything we should really be looking out for? Is there any particular item that you're going, this is fabulous, this is brilliant, you should go into this?
The great thing about what we have tonight is we've everything from, when you mention designer luxury to people, they nearly always think kind of going, oh, too far out of my reach. We've everything from the 19 euro wallet to, we actually have a 9,000 euro handbag releasing tonight, one of two.
So a 9,000 euro handbag.
And it's great value at that too. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a great experience and also it's a great experience to learn about the history of the brands. Our guys are so knowledgeable and so passionate about what they do. It's great to tune in and check it out. So if anyone's looking for inspiration on how to be creative, with no arrogance intended, that's what our guys do constantly.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure you'll get a great audience tonight, Paddy. Thank you. Stay on the line and let's bring everybody else back in, can we? And I'm just going to just hit some of the Q&As that have come through during the course of this. So I might just put this out to anybody really. But this one is for Jennifer Lyons. What editor would you recommend for Windows? Best paid and free? Connor and Tom, I might throw that your way. Anything any answers to that?
Yeah, I suppose just even for, like, you have the likes of iMovie, you have Adobe. So there are two really good options for editing on like a laptop or a desktop. Yeah, they're a bit more, advanced than InShot. So InShot would be more beginner just on your Android and iPhone. And then as you get onto your laptop and stuff, it's more Adobe and Final Cut Pro.
Brilliant. Somebody just put in here, Canva is an excellent tool as well. Is that right?
Yeah, that's really good. So that's good for graphics. It's good for videos. It's recently actually just added more kind of video features as well. So yeah, Canva is very good.
Motion graphics, actually, Canva is good for as well.
Sorry, Connor.
Motion graphics, just a small bit of movement in the graphics and stuff. Canva we'd often see as very suitable for, basic graphics and kind of motion graphics. That's where I feel it's most suitable for at the moment.
Okay, and there was a message here. Would you recommend any free sites for music for videos? So if you want to get the music onto your videos, is there anything that you go to?
Yeah, there's a lot of free kind of sites you can use for royalty free. I'll get a few links here and I'll pop them in the chat now in 2 minutes.
Okay, super. Thank you. Okay, let's just let's take. I'm not going to be able to take all of them, I don't think, but let's try and get as many as we can. So, it is an interesting one. What's better for? This is from Darren Reynolds. What's better for talking head type videos, one-to-one or interviewer style? Any thoughts on that?
I suppose it depends what you're comfortable with. If you're happy enough to talk on camera by yourself, obviously go for it. But a good way to start with video could be an interview style where you have someone to bounce off of. That definitely helps if you're starting out, I'd say.
Yeah, and while you're on there, Neve, there's a comment that Ruth Sullivan made here that says fabulous transitioning in that video by McElhenney's.
Oh,
So
thank you.
how did you do that?
Well, I edit all my videos with Splice, which I think is on Android as well, which I've seen a question about Android video editing. So that possibly is an option for Android as well. So I use, that's what I use to edit all of my videos. It's definitely my most used app every single week. It's similar to iMovie. I've used iMovie as well. It's very easy to use. You know, you can do your cuts and your transitions, and there is actually music on that app as well. Now it's obviously limited to however many is in the library, but there's plenty in there to get started if that's something you're looking for. So that would be
good stuff. And there's a question here from Eva O'Grady that says I presume this is the best websites to buy tripod stroke ring lights or the tripod with the ring light attachments. So maybe I think you mentioned this, Connor and Tom, you know, in terms of ring lights and tripods, where would you go and get them?
Well, even in terms of like ring lights and stuff, there are actually a lot of beauty products and stuff. You'll see them on a lot of beauty sites, like even like sort of Glam Doll and stuff like that. In terms of tripods and stuff, you kind of have like there's the Camera Center, I think, is it .ie, Tom? Yeah. And then there's a few other ones, Tom, you linked there in it earlier, where you'll see for the mics and stuff like that.
Like Barker Photographic there is one that we have for the mic, so that's another Irish company.
Yeah, great stuff. And back to you, Neve. I know you mentioned there in terms of you know, when you're upgrading to mics and things, was there a specific place that you went to get the equipment, or?
We ordered, I think we ordered our ring light off Glam Doll, which had the tripod attachment in it. But I honestly cannot remember where we got our microphones, but if anyone does want to know, I will find out, and they can email me and I will let them know.
Yeah, super. And just there's a question here, which is quite an interesting one, I think, around advice for those that will be graduating this year in marketing, and you know, where we go with all of this and how to get involved with companies, perhaps like yourself, Connor, actually, in terms of, you know, the social media companies. So is it better to set up by yourself and work independently, or get employed by a company? And if so, how would you do it? You know, I guess there's a lot of graduates going to be coming out this year wondering what the first step is in such a difficult economy at the moment. So any advice you can give them?
I would definitely always advise to get experience. And I think to get experience, you probably have to get into a company, because you're not going to get that experience by yourself. Getting internships, getting a kind of graduate program, or whatever the case may be, I think that is where you get your real value. I know, for example, in the social media lead side things, we do a 3-month internship program with people. So they come in and we have a program for 3 months, and at the end of that, then they have an opportunity to progress into a full-time job. And I suppose it's really learning schedule the whole 3 months. That's where I think you get your best value. I think it's actual learning, and then obviously you can bring that. If you did want to do something freelance, you could do that. Starting freelance, it's very hard to have trust and connections unless you're coming from something separate where you have that kind of an audience there that you can work with people.
Super. And I know this question, I once said it when I think it was Neve was talking earlier around TikTok. Yeah. So, you know, to many of us, I'm sure of my ilk on this call today, TikTok is something done by, you know, our teenage children, if not younger. What's the benefit of TikTok, and how big is it becoming? What's your thoughts around that?
TikTok is definitely probably the fastest growing social media site that has come out in recent years. It is just short form video. It's very similar to Vine, if you guys remember Vine. Your videos can be between, I think it's up to 1 minute long. So they're just really quick, snappy videos, but it's just, I think if you're going to try to be on TikTok, you have to just, you know, have a bit of fun with it. You can't do anything really that serious. And just my advice, if anyone is looking at TikTok, take a look at the trending sounds, because if you use the sounds that are popular at the time, you'll be shown to more people. So it is a good tool to, you know, for brand awareness more than sales. So I would say if you're looking to just, you know, increase or start your videos to increase your sales, it's probably not the best platform for that, but it is good to be on to get inspiration and use those sounds that are, you know, a bit different and have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, brilliant. And there's one here that's probably going to come your way, Neve, anyway, just in terms of getting store teams involved. I think maybe for you and for Paddy. But can the panel give any suggestions for getting store teams involved in content creation? So the question is, we have multiple locations and just starting out trying to build social content with our store colleagues involved. But how do we do that whilst working remotely with people who aren't used to creating content? And any thoughts around team involvement, Neve?
Well, our team is all, like, a lot, as I mentioned, like the creative team are all involved in the process, and we have a lot of staff members that would be involved. You know, they model for us, they speak on camera for us. I think I've roped all of our buyers into a video at some point, much to their dismay. They'll probably be cursing me now, but that we try to get as many people involved as we can, because people like to see people that they know on video. So it's really good to get those personalities out there. So I would say, you know, just put it out there to your team. You know, does anyone want to get involved? Let them try it, see if it works. Like I said, I think the answer to another question, if they're not comfortable being on camera by themselves, maybe try to do, you know, 2 people in a video with an interview style, because at least then you have someone to bounce off of. And I would just say, you know, when you're posting it, you could say, Neve from our Donegal branch, you know, let people know where they're from, and, you know, you can have people following along to see them. And yeah, I would just say, if you're starting out, that's probably the best way. Just ask, first of all, just ask them to get involved, and I'm sure there's definitely people out there that would be more than willing to. Yeah, it's great advice. And I'm going to come to you, Paddy, a similar sort of question, because it sounds like you do a lot of that with your team. You were talking about it this evening in terms of getting the team involved, weren't you? Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a simple case of inspire them to do it. You know, even creating competitions between the guys as to who can create the best content wrapped around something with an incentive based. You know, the guys, I'm really blessed when, as I'm sure Neve is there, with just a great team of creatives around that. You don't really have to go fishing for the information, you get it, but they're inspired to do that by our Katie, who's our online and social media manager, runs a great department there. So we also do an appeal to our customers to tag us in their Instagram stories, and then we get permission to share those, so as seen on our customers. And that inspires our staff then as well to do the same with their own staff purchases. But they're definitely incentivizing them and inspiring them to do it. The way I look to my guys and say is, if I can get behind the camera and talk about handbags, they certainly can, you know? Yeah, yeah. A better man than I am, Paddy. Yeah. But I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to take a couple more questions here, and then we'll close up. But one is a bit more a technical question, so I might go to you, Tom, if you don't mind with this. And if this is, needs to be sent to somebody else, please do it. But questionary videos. If you film a video, excuse me, and it fits on Facebook but needs to be cropped on Instagram, how can you do this?
Yeah, so like from just a mobile point of view, InShot again is really good for that. So that'll have your more portrait for Instagram stories, and then it'll have your wider shots then for Instagram feed and Facebook feed. So they're kind of your 2 main ones: your Instagram story, which is portrait, and then your landscape one for the Instagram and Facebook feed.
Super. Okay. And Paddy, I'm just going to return to you, because this is a broad question. I know it's been asked to me a few times, but you know, with all of this conversation around social media and online shopping and all of that, and I know you've got a bricks and mortar shop and you're online and so on, but you know, are bricks and mortar, is the physical store still as important as before, or should we just be looking to go down online only? Should we just forget the rents, forget all the hassle of having a property? You know, should we just really be concentrating on online and social media content?
Yeah, I'm a bricks and mortar retailer. My first job was in Quinsworth at the age of 15, pushing trolleys into space, and I absolutely love bricks and mortar. Now, I know the question isn't whether I love it or not, or what can I see happening. From what we saw when we reopened, even with the December reopening, and we saw people come back into us. I know people from outside the county couldn't come back in, but our local community were absolutely hammering our door down to come back in. Now, obviously, under our 4 people at a time presence, I see, especially in our industry, I see bricks and mortar going from strength to strength. You know, in our industry, people need to come in, try an item on. Again, as I've mentioned earlier on, we've got pre-loved products. People want to see it, touch it, feel it before they buy it. There's a real community sense to what we do. And I think Irish retail, from all my travels around Europe and further afield, Irish retail is something special. And it's a special experience inside stores, not just our own. I've always loved a massive amount of retailers here in Ireland that offer such a great experience. Last year, we were so happy to be involved in the Store of the Year. And we got to see and the inspiration from other people, both the experience and the service provided. Bricks and mortar retail is going nowhere in my book. You know?
Yeah, great stuff. Well, look, that's a very positive note on which to finish. Firstly, Paddy, thank you very much and all the very best for tonight.
Delighted. Thank you, Duncan.
To everybody else, thank you, Connor, for all of your input, Social Media Elite. Thank you to Tom Aspel from the sister company Viral Media. Thank you to Niamh Phelan. That was brilliant, Niamh, up there in the cold climes of Donegal, I'm sure, today. Hopefully you won't get snowed in over the next 24 hours. And thank you again to Paddy Coughlin from Designer Exchange. Thank you for attending. We will be up again shortly in the next couple of weeks with another one of our webinars. And all remains to be said from me is stay safe and let's keep our fingers crossed that this reopening happens sooner rather than later. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.